your view that the DA has been focused inward rather than externally, and that's your view is for the party to start being seen as connecting with the average South African. When you raised this issue much earlier on, Mr. Maimane, the former leader, called you Judas Steenhuisen on social media. I mean, you never really addressed that issue publicly. I mean, how do you take that issue? Because you clearly haven't shifted from your view that in the past, the DA was focused inward and that your vision is to take it to connect with the average South African.
Well, I don't respond to immature name calling, and especially when that's not borne out by the facts. The amount of effort and work I put into making Mr. Maimane's leadership successful, making sure that he had a strong working parliamentary operation, are matters of public record. So I think that name calling is immature and unbecoming of leaders, and I think it was unfortunate that he said it. But I really do believe that the DA has to present an alternative to South Africans, and you only present that alternative when you're able to put different options on the table. And I think we've been able to demonstrate during the course of the coronavirus pandemic in South Africa that the DA is capable of being able to come up with its own ideas, its own suggestions, from the blue book to the smart lockdown model to the COVID-19 action plan for an incapable state. These are all fruits of our own labor, our own research, and our own policy making. I think that's what South Africans want to see. They want to see a party that is not just criticizing, that's not just pointing fingers, but a party that's putting on the table workable solutions. That's certainly how I've led the party over the last few months, and it's certainly how I will continue to lead the party if I'm elected in October.
Mr. Maimane, John, actually accused you of being disingenuous because he says you are part of the leadership and you're part and parcel of the decision-making and that process. To what extent are you then taking account of some of the mistakes or some of the issues that took place when he was leader?
Well, it was a pity that he and others did not listen when I spoke. And anybody who looks back in the Federal Executive Committee minutes would know very well the completely different approach I had to, for instance, President Ramaphosa's election. I said at the time to the party that they must not misjudge the mood of the nation, and rather, many South Africans were going to be very welcoming of the fact that Mr. Ramaphosa had triumphed over Mrs. Dlamini Zuma, particularly given the awful era under his predecessor, Jacob Zuma, and that we must not misjudge the mood of the nation. That advice was not heeded, and the party went on a full frontal attack on Mr. Ramaphosa, and I think it backfired spectacularly, and I think it set the stage for the undermining, ultimately, of Mr. Maimane's credibility, and I think it turned a lot of South Africans off. That is a matter of public record, so I'm not going to pull out every decision where I had a different view, a different opinion, with both the campaign manager as well as the leader of the organization. But those matters are certainly on the record within the party. And I made significant contribution and input into the review process, saying that we need to listen more to people on the ground about what is going on and what their views and opinions are, and that we can't make decisions for other parts of the country from a boardroom in Bruma or Gardens, that we've got to be a listening organization that listens to our local structures and listens to people within the organization and then makes a decision thereafter. And I've certainly adopted a far more consensual approach as the interim leader within the federal executive.